it make you feel bad that you can't support your kids?
Yes.
How do they make it? Where do they get the money?
Well, the majority of them, the mother's on welfare, and welfare gives them the stipend for the month. So what I'm not doing, the government does.
What would happen if the government didn't?
This would be a big disaster, I guess, because you can't give something that you don't have. In order to give, you got to have for yourself.
You see, people out there watching are going to say, why didn't he think about that before he brought 6 kids into the world?
Well, mother had a choice. She could have had an abortion, or she could have kept the child. She decided whether she wanted to have the child, so therefore, I guess it's not sweating her. I mean, it's not bothering.
You think it's her fault if she gets pregnant?
Well,
I mean, you fought her.
Well, maybe not. Like they say, mama, baby, papa, maybe.
Ramping up her outreach to black men.
We are talking about sons. We are talking about fathers. We are talking about grandsons. We're talking about grandparents. We're talking about uncles.
An estimated 90% of black men voted for President Joe Biden in 2020. And Harris does lead Donald Trump 84-8 among likely black voters overall. But even a relatively small drop in support from black men can be significant for Harris, given the razor-thin margins in some of these battleground states. So, in the final stretch of the race, Harris is going all out, with media appearances and events, in addition to outlining what she's called an opportunity agenda for black men. Those policies include a plan to provide as many as 1 million fully forgivable loans of up to $20,000 for black entrepreneurs, further investment into training and apprenticeship programs designed to help black men land jobs in high-demand industries, the launch of a national health equity initiative focused on black men, plus the legalization of recreational marijuana, with the focus on ensuring black men have access to that industry.
My pledge is, as president, I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically black men.
And the vice president is also tapping campaign surrogates, including NBA icon Magic Johnson and former President Barack Obama.
Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. That seems to be more pronounced.
So black men were given a seat at the table, finally, right? And they were asked, okay, what can we do for black men? What is going to make black men want to vote for me? What would change black men's mind about voting for Kamala Harris? And you came to the table and you said that you want child care, child support abolished. Not resources for the black community, not affordable housing for the black community, not better healthcare services in black communities. You asked to have child support abolished. Black men went to the table to fight for the opportunity to not take care of their children. You went to the table and you affirmed the fact that you don't want to take care of your children, when that is already a common misconception about men in the black community, is that they don't take care of their children, they're not in the home. And you went to the table and you affirmed the fact that you don't want to have to take care of your children. Black women fought for you. I know I did. Right? When the racists were saying black men aren't even fathers, black men aren't in the home, I said, yeah, black men are in the home. There are a lot of black men who are in the home. And you went to the table. You went to the table and you said, you know what, you're right. Black men aren't in the home. Black men don't even want to be in the home. Black men don't even want to pay child support for the children that they took part in creating. Black women, I think a happy hour is in order.
So we mad at child support now? You know, what I don't get this is that you have an opportunity as black men to speak about the things that you need as supposedly leaders of your community. Cool. You get to talk about education, housing, more sports and education opportunities for your children, potential bills and legislations, things that can really uplift the community, and you pick child support? Just reinforcing the stigma that black men don't take care of their goddamn kids? I received child support from my kid's mother. I was a single father. Now understand this. Before, my kids' schooling used to cost upwards to $1,000. Understand this. My daughter's hair, the products, not even doing the hair, the products of her hair, when we buy them at one time, cost around $100 to $150. And that's not including my other daughter, just the one daughter. This is not any food that she eats or anything else, nor clothes or anything. In a month, we are already at somewhere around $1,000. And don't get me wrong, you get some bitter situations, but if you want to be in your kid's life, and this is an active father talking to you, if you want to be in your kid's life by hook or crook, you'll figure it out. I don't care how difficult the mother is. But if you have the opportunity to talk to the future president that could potentially put things in motion for you, and you choose child support, you are the problem. And I only see $100 a month. And I don't even bump it up because, you know what, I don't got time to be out here fighting. But people do not really know how hard it is to take care of a kid on your own.
While we're on the topic of child support, the average cost of child support in the country, average, right? The median is about $500 a month. And I know some of you brokies are going to be like, that's a lot of money. No child needs $500 a month. Those words only come out of the mouth of a person who does not live with their child. Does not live with their child. And then when you start to count all these things, they're like, well, you were going to pay an electric bill anyway. You're going to pay this anyway. You're going to pay that anyway. You have to have a roof over your head. Like, I have 2 kids. I have a 3-bedroom house. If I didn't have kids, like, could me and my 2 kids live in a 1-bedroom? Yeah, people do it. But should they have to? No. When they're not here, my electric bill is lower. When they're not here, my water bill is lower. These motherfuckers use way more water than me. They use up way more resources. And y'all don't realize that because y'all have never lived with your children. Y'all have never had your children for more than like a few days at a time. When I tell you the drastic difference in my children being here, there was 1 month where my kids we were all gone for like a month, right? They spent 2 weeks with my ex-husband's family, and then they spent 2 weeks at my mom's. And when I looked at the difference in that month, that $500 is fucking nothing for my electric and gas, for my water bill. And then just what I would spend on groceries just to feed myself is insanely different than a child. So if the only thing and that's not even counting childcare, dental, medical, that's not counting any of that stuff. That's not counting clothes. And some of them are only paying that $500. And they're like, oh, a 3-year-old doesn't need $500. Childcare alone for one child is, what is it? Like $800 a month in California. And that's on the low end. For California, childcare for $800 is on the low end. I know some people that were paying $1,200 for one child for childcare. So imagine if your childcare is $800 and then you have to chauffeur the child around because the other person only sees them a few days a month. You have to chauffeur the child around, so you got more gas because you have to drop them off, then you go to work. Your electric bill is higher, your water bill is higher, your food bill is higher, everything in your house is higher. You're spending so much more money when you are the primary caregiver, and not to mention the administrative work that does not get calculated into it, right? Because the doctor's appointment, who books them? Who makes sure they go to all their dentist appointments? Who makes sure all the school paperwork is filled out? Who makes sure any paperwork is filled out? Who got them a passport? Who got them an ID? All the administrative stuff don't even get calculated into the expenses, but someone has to do it. So the primary parent is still doing all the legwork, and then y'all come on the internet and complain that y'all have to spend a measly couple $100. What a bunch of fucking losers.
Y'all, I'm tired. Every day, it's a new battle. I ain't got no more Yu-Gi-Oh cards left. I done played every single card I got. And every day, it's a new battle with us. Now we upset about child support forgiveness. Like, what? Where? We ain't got shit. We got inflation going on. People at war. Like, all kinds of shit going on in this world. And they talking about aliens come back, and we talking about child support forgiveness. I'm tired of us at this point. I'm so tired of us. But this is what the conversation is, like whether child support forgiveness needs to be a thing. And the answer is no. It don't need to be a thing. It don't. Mom and daddy need to grow the fuck up and take care of their damn child. That's what needs to happen. The child should never have to suffer for the mistakes of the mother and the father. That should never be a thing. Whatever that looks like. Now, I do think that DNA tests should be mandatory before putting anybody on child support, or before even signing a birth certificate for a child. I think that should be a thing. Child support forgiveness, nah. We playing too much. We are playing too much. We got too much other shit to worry about than whether or not somebody should get some child support forgiveness at this point. Fellas, I'm with you when you're right, but I'm just not.
Men folk are out here asking for child support forgiveness like it's the goddamn student loans. I never thought I would live in a world where child support would be that much of an issue that you would feel the need to ask the president to intervene. Like the way these men folks is carrying on, you would think they was paying the thousands of dollars in child support. Sir, you're paying $30. You have the men who want to argue, well, some of the mothers not using the child support for the child anyway. Sir, with $30, I don't even think you can buy a can of milk. Sorry, I don't think no good father who's active in their child's life, who's actually providing for their child, is complaining about child support. It be the fathers that don't even pick up their phone and tell the kid happy birthday that's doing all this complaining about child support. I can't even believe that we're at the point of asking a president to help out with child support. That's not the president's kids, them your kids. You need to do something about that child support. Like, pay it. I don't know, but asking for a child support forgiveness like it's the goddamn student loans sounds crazy as hell to me. Like, what is happening up here? What is happening?